Sai Leela, Episode 41, Experiences of Bhimaji Patil of Narayangao. Give up all anxiety. The moment you put your foot in Shirdi, your sufferings have ended. You may sink neck deep in the sea of obstacles. You may have sunk deep into the pit of sorrow and sufferings, but know that he who climbs the steps of this mosque will enjoy the greatest happiness. The fakir of this place is very kind. He will eradicate your disease and pain. He who has compassion for all will look after you very lovingly, said Baba to Bhimaji Patil of Narayangao when he was suffering from preliminary tuberculosis. In Tanjapur, near Sinnar, Nasik district, lived Lakshman Baji Avre. In 1910, he suffered from terrible pain in both his eyes. The eyes watered constantly, and finally he lost his sight and became blind. All sorts of remedies and medicines were tried, but no avail. A friend of the family advised them to go to Shirdi, have Baba's darshan, and assured them of a permanent cure. One Thursday they came to Shirdi and had Baba's darshan. Baba looked at Lakshman kindly and said, Allah acha karega, Allah will do good, and gave them udi. They returned home. When they noticed that the watering and pain had subsided, so they made weekly trips to Shirdi every Thursday and took Baba's darshan for 6 months. The villagers advised the mother to take her son to JJ Hospital, Bombay for treatment. On the day of their departure to Bombay, Lakshman had a burning sensation all over his body. Regardless, he left to Bombay. The British ophthalmologist examined him and told him that he would not retain his sight as the eyes were badly damaged. With heavy hearted, they returned to their village. Lakshman, however, determined that whether he recovered his sight or not, he would stay in Shirdi at Baba's side. The family came and stayed in Shirdi for some time. Then the mother returned to her village, leaving her son behind. Lakshman had intense faith in Baba. Every morning he washed his eyes with the water that Baba used to wash his face. This he did for 1 month, when suddenly his sight got restored, but not fully. One evening he took Baba's darshan in the Chavdi. Baba gently clapped his hand on Lakshman's chest, and lo, he could see clearly again. So overwhelmed with gratitude was he that he stayed on in Shirdi till Baba's Mahasamadhi. Radhakrishna Mai asked Lakshman to pump water from the well, now in Sarangjambag, and do all the work that she ordered. This seva he willingly did as a token of gratitude for his recovery. The second Leela. From 1913 to 1915, Sri Sharanand saw a blind man in Shirdi. He was doing Hari Kirtan and kept beating his cymbals. In 1942 or 1943, he saw the same man reciting chapters of Srimad Bhagavad and singing verses from the Jnaneshwari Amrita Anubhav. Curious about this, Swamiji said, "When did you get back your sight?" He replied, "Through Baba's grace, I received this precious gift. I had a blessed vision from him years ago. Since then, I can see, read, write and move freely." To assure Swamiji, he read out several verses from the Amrit Anubhav. How wisely he used the sense of sight. The third Leela. He longed for Baba's darshan, but no matter what he did, his plans failed. This upset and frustrated Joshi, and he got angry at Baba. All my friends and relatives keep going to Shirdi. Why am I denied this opportunity, Baba? If you are a real saint, you will give me darshan even without my going to Shirdi, said Joshi. Simultaneously at Shirdi, a family from Konkan were about to return home after taking Baba's darshan. Baba asked the man if he could do a piece of work for him. The devotee readily agreed. Then Baba said, "You go home by mail and give this packet of udi to the person who requests you to give him a span of space for sitting." Then the devotee agreed to Baba's strange request. He and his family were comfortably seated in the train. At every station, the man looked for the gentleman, but no such person approached him. At last, the train pulled out of Kalyan. The devotee thought that he should write to Baba about his non-compliance. Then the train halted at Thane. Just as the train was moving out, a man rushed into the compartment drenched in perspiration. He grasped and said, "Please pick up your child and give me a span of space to sit, as I am feeling giddy." The Konkan devotee readily picked up the child and gladly handed over the packet of udi. He told him of Baba's strange request, and as Joshi had said the very words, he handed over the udi. Joshi respectfully received the udi packet. He thought of Baba's kindness towards an angry child and was forever grateful. The next Leela. Do coconut produce children? How can you be so superstitious? Said Baba to Shama. In Sai Satcharitra chapter 36, Shama was pleading with Baba on behalf of Mrs. Aurangabadkar. He beseeched Baba to give her the coconut and his blessing, thus the barren lady might get a child. She will get a child in 12 months, said Baba. This is another coconut Leela. A lady from Pune was desperate to go to Shirdi and seek Baba's blessing. But however hard she tried, her attempts failed for some reason or the other. She was sure if she received a coconut from Baba, she would get a child. She was very sad and dejected and wondered about the future. One day she had a dream vision. Baba came and gave her a coconut as prasad. When she woke up and thought over the dream, it seemed so real that she looked around. Lo, there was a coconut on her bed. She vowed that if she got the child by this prasad, she would take the child to Shirdi. A year later, she delivered a male child, so she went with her child and gratefully laid him at Baba's feet. Mention is made of Hari Bau Karnik in Satcharitra chapter 33. In 1917, on Guru Purnima, he visited Shirdi and after proper rituals offered Dakshina to Baba. While he was getting down the steps, he wished that he would offer one more rupee, as he was given permission to leave to proceed to Nasik. The Narasimha Maharaj demanded, "Give me 1 rupee," which Haribhau gladly gave, realizing how Baba had reclaimed the rupee. Before this visit to Shirdi, he was once in trouble. His relatives dragged him to the court unlawfully. Having heard of Baba, he came to Shirdi and bowed to Baba and offered a coconut, betel nut and dakshina. Baba asked him to go to the Vada and take rest. 2 days later, he met Baba. He was dejected and sad at the behavior of his relatives and was thinking of the lawsuit. Baba, in his characteristic way, told him all about the case. The other devotees asked him if he was acquitted with Baba. "No, I have not met him before, but he surely knows me." On the 4th day of his stay, he met Baba, who said, "Wait for 6 months and see the fate of mischief makers." True to his words, 6 months later he was acquitted and the troublemakers suffered much for their misdeeds. Mudeshwar Pradhan and his wife Chotubai loved Baba from the bottom of their hearts. Baba likewise reciprocated. He looked after their welfare in every way. Once all the children had chicken pox and subsequently they all recovered except the youngest, who was also the weakest. Then the illness took a serious turn. The doctors also gave up hope of the child's recovery. The child turned pale and signs of collapse appeared. on the child's face. The parents tended to the child loving, but with a heart full of sorrow, they chanted Baba's name continuously. Chotubai suddenly fell asleep only to see Baba before her. Baba said, "What is all this? The child is all right and safe. He will ask for something to eat at 6:30 a.m. Do give him whatever he wants without fear." Chotubai woke up and looked at her child, who seemed to have recovered at that very moment and was sound asleep. Exactly at 6:30 a.m., the child asked to be fed. The mother joyfully gave him whatever he wanted. The child of Mudeshwar Pradhan fully recovered in a few days. Here we come to end of Sai Leela episode 41. Om Sai Ram.